What is going on, you fucking martards out there? There's a lot of shit going on. It's your boy A-Track Brown. And we ain't doing no reviews or nothing like that. This is the PWHustle minus the masked man. But, like I said, got your boy A-Track Brown. And with me as always is the most scholarly, the most magnanimous, the most effervescent, the most objective, the most not yet. He is the king of the motherfucking hoopla, okay? And the most stupendous and the most glorious man in IWC, YWC, PWC punditry, Chabel de la Cruz. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, A-Track? What's going on to the Hustleites? You know, it's been a slow news week.
Has it?
You know, for me, it's like, this is another story like this that, I'm just waiting. You know what? The news is not about what happens in wrestling, Track. The news is about how the social media and the IWC, YWC takes the news that they listen to, that they absorb, and then it becomes the debate. This becomes Fox News Debate 2020 Deuce. That's what it becomes. What side are you on? Are you on the Rachel Maddow side or are you on the Hannity side? Here we go.
And that's the thing. It becomes a fucking another reason for wrestling fans to fucking fight and go back and forth over each other, or with each other, are you team WWE? Are you team Sasha Banks? Are you team Naomi? Are you a Vince Cell? Are you a Bank Squad? Are you a part of the Glow Crew? Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck cares? But what's paramount is what's true and what's real. This is not a work, okay? WWE is not working with TMZ to fucking bring us some work. They're not that clever. I wish people really would stop trying to give these motherfuckers too many props like that. This isn't a work. And
are we sure? Wait. Respectfully, Trek, are we sure this isn't the brainchild of Vince Russo? This is what he wants. This vision. This was what he wanted to do with Hulk Hogan at Bash at the Beach 2000 Hustleites. But now we got 2020 dudes. He can now manipulate TMZ. He can manipulate Us Weekly. He can manipulate the dirt sheets. And now he's got everybody by the palm of his hand. Is it a work or is it a shoot? We don't know.
Vince Russo would love to be a part of this. He would love for it to be some type of a storyline or angle or whatever. But the bottom line is that what's happening is, at least from what I'm seeing, this is what I'm taking in. The WWE is trying to resolve this issue because we all know for a fact that it doesn't matter who you are unless they're already on their way to fucking releasing you anyway. If you walk out with the company, they're going to try to resolve the issue, okay? They've invested a lot in Sasha. They've invested a lot in Naomi as well. So when you have two women like that, especially Naomi, who's married to who's it, Jimmy or Jay? Jay, who's married to Jay, you're gonna want to make sure that kind of resolves itself. I'm pretty sure Vince is saying, go talk to your wife soberly. So
no, that Jimmy's the drunk one. Jay is the good one.
Oh, Jay is the okay. I thought Jay was the drunk one. It's hard. They're fucking twins. I can't even remember.
Yeah, I know.
But the fact of the matter is that Vince is going to want the situation resolved. So one thing that I think I would give them credit for, and maybe one can say I'm being too generous here, is that them mentioning that they walked out isn't the first time they've done this. People seem to think that, they would never do this. Like, they've done this before. They do this all the time. They did it with CM Punk. They did it with Jon Moxley. They who else did they do it with? Austin, exactly. So it's like, come on. Don't say, they would never mention this. Of course they would. But the thing is this. With this, I think like they're doing it so if they resolve the issue, they'll turn it into an angle. You know what I'm saying? And this whole narrative is like, they were gonna give them a world title shot, put them in world title contentions, feuds, and shit like that. Okay, well, even if that's the case, what makes you think that the story of it is good? You know, I don't. It's from what I know. I'm not some backstage insider. You know, I know there's a lot of people out there calling Sasha spoiled and unprofessional, and I think it comes back to that false report that bitch ass Ryan Satin, I think, put out, which was
when they lost the tag titles and
yeah,
her and Bailey were throwing the
history. I've seen people fucking going back to that. I've seen that shit on Twitter. I've seen it on Facebook. I've seen it on Facebook groups. You just posted something recently that some jackass thought.
No. What I posted was not about whose side I was on. I posted.
It doesn't matter. You posted it, but some nigga thought it was recent and started talking shit, and so he got corrected. And so my thing is,
you see right there, it is. You know, shout out to Ashley Davies if he does watch. But my post was this: happier times when nobody was debating about this shit.
What was Ashley talking? Hold on, I gotta go back to that shit because I said
no. He thought it was. He thought she tweeted this like 24 hours ago. I just wanted to prove 2 points while A-Track is looking for the post.
Trying to stay relevant, no one is even talking about them anymore. This is from weeks ago, you geek. I'm sorry. I know he's a member of the page, but I couldn't help but laugh at this shit.
Oh, it's funny, but I know what Ashley was talking about. But you know, the post was not about them. It was just about happier times because that was just a couple of weeks ago. Track. She said, "Thank you, Vince." Her tweets, mostly on her Twitter before all this shit happened, she said, "Thank you to the God Vince McMahon." She said, "Thank you, Vince McMahon, for all this." She treated Vince McMahon. Her tweets were like every month after month was so like towards him.
And to be even more real with you, I think this tweet was even a joke in itself. This plane is not something that Vince got them. I think they saw a green plane and said, let's just take a picture in front of it and fuck around. So even if somebody wanted to take that seriously, it's like, you really think Vince fucking wanted a green plane for these bitches? Yo, come on, man. But I just thought it was funny. But it's an example of how people are not being smart about this shit, you know. And I saw a clip, you know, I think you saw, I don't know if you saw it too, but because there's also a narrative that certain fans are being hard on Sasha and Naomi because of race, and certain people are just saying, no, that's not true. And I think that's stupid to say that, because you're basically saying that no one would ever really do that. No one would ever criticize a black person because they're black, especially in the world of wrestling fandom. No. That would never happen. It has happened. It does happen. It will happen. And there's nothing wrong with acknowledging that. You're not saying everyone, but you are saying there are a portion of people out there who are racist jackasses and it's sexist and so on and so forth, who would do some shit like that. Reminds me of going to this, what is this fucking fool? Bob Batty, I think his name is. He's down with
Bill Batty from the
Bill Batty. Yeah, he's
Disco
down with
podcast.
Yeah, Disco Inferno and Conan, and keeping it 100, where Isaiah Swerve sent the fist emoji after hearing the story, which is him saying he stands with them in solidarity. And of course, Bill Batty goes, "It's always race with these people." And talking about how he sent the BLM fist. I'm reading this shit like, the BLM fist? What the fuck is this nigga talking about? Like, you don't know. I guess so. I guess motherfuckers fucking decided that they was gonna I guess motherfuckers decided that they were gonna just say that, hey, this fist was made up by BLM, not knowing that this fist, the black fist,
BLM is. I'm like, I thought, what the hell's a BLM? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm thinking,
Nah, because he said that shit, and I'm like, motherfucker, this goes back way before BLM. I put an emoji of John Carlos and Tommy Strong in 1968 Olympics. It's more than just a symbol of black power or black pride. It's also a symbol of solidarity. I stand with you. You know, I understand what you're going through. But this jackass made it about a race thing. And he even, from what I understand, posted a picture of Naomi, you know, with a monkey. We ain't going for that shit. So Bill Batty, when you Bob, Bill, whatever your fucking name is, when the culture sees you in the streets, we owe you an ass whooping, bro. Like, for real. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? What the fuck is your problem?
You know what it is, Track? Again, it's everybody is very reactionary to everything. You know what I mean? And you're right. Everybody is right in certain instances, but everybody just wants to hold on to their strong opinions. You know what? There is racism in professional wrestling. We've known this for years, for decades. I mean, black wrestlers have been suffering from that. That's one thing. But when it comes to Sasha and Naomi, this is creative. This is no different than Becky Lynch, you know, having creative issues. This is no different from Charlotte, no different from Bayley, no different from Natalya, no different from Stone Cold, Rock, Hogan. You know, everybody has creative issues with Vincent Kennedy McMahon hustleites. It's been there for decades. We've had screw jobs. Wendy Richter was the first legitimate screw job in WWF history against Fabulous Moolah. The most one was Bret Hart.
So right there, yo.
Job. I mean, it's happened before. They even did a WWE Confidential episode when Stone Cold quit on the WWE in 2002, and they had The Rock come to. You want to talk about an issue? You got people could have said this, and I'm not trying to start anything here. You know, don't quote me here, Track. But they could have said, you know, if there was social media, they would have called Rock and Uncle Tom for doing the promo he did, cutting on Stone Cold Steve Austin in 2002. We would have had those debates on social media. So it goes.
We do know The Rock was legit pissed at Stone Cold over that. They did have heat between each other when that happened. He felt like, you know, that was his boy, and his boy just walked out like, hey, what the hell? You know, because it had to do with Brock Lesnar, it didn't have to do with The Rock. But The Rock did feel some type of way about it as a friend and a coworker. But yeah, had that shit happened today, he would have. Oh man, he would. Oh my God,
he would have been called Uncle Tom. And let me just say this, Track, and then you can retort back. You know, when it comes to Sasha and Naomi, they're in the trap. And let's not talk about what the creative was. I'm not here to debate it, because to me, in my opinion, if you're gonna have a pay-per-view main event against Bianca and Ronda Rousey, respectively, that's okay. That's high profile in my eyes. I understand what you're talking about. Well, this doesn't make sense with creative. What are they holding, Track? The worst titles to have. The WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Those are death trap titles.
Dead ass. And you know what's fucked up when the Impact Women's Knockouts Championship have more prestige than the WWE Women's Tag titles. I'm not even fucking with you. I'm being dead ass. That's.
Those even suck. You know what it is? And I'm glad you talk about Impact. This is just my humble opinion. I don't watch Impact a lot because I don't have access TV like you do. So, Track, please correct me on this. But having those women's tag team titles, either for Impact or WWE, it's just to me, it's a death trap because it's lazy booking. I mean, you're trying to put a couple of women, 4 more women on TV. There's no chemistry. It doesn't feel like I can be invested with it. And that's what it is. Sasha and Naomi got those titles over, got the angle over on WrestleMania. People were cheering for the Glow and all that stuff, the Boston Glow connection. I like that. But the reality sets in for the Boston Glow. Who are you going to fight against? There's no Iconics. There's no Bella Twins. There's no legit women that have a history of being together. That's what you need. You just can't lump people in together. I'm not invested in tag team matches like that on the women's side. What say you,
Which
Track?
makes this whole it makes the whole tag team tournament so fucking stupid. The idea of it. You have no teams. This is what happens when you fucking don't give a shit about your roster pertaining to a certain way you're building it. And I'm not saying they don't give a shit about the women's division, but they damn sure don't give a shit about the women's tag team division. You have no tag teams. You don't. So what are you going to do? Lump a bunch of bitches together? Oh my God.
The Bellas are coming. The Bellas are coming.
Don't say it, yo.
The Bellas are coming.
Yo, I'm thinking it and you fucking said it because you already know. You already know. Oh my God, yo. That's what it's going to come down to. The Bellas going to end up the fucking tag team champions. That's what they do. Yo, they had to go to Impact to get Mickie James because they did not have enough names for their fucking female Royal Rumble. And so now you don't have female tag teams, so you're going to have to bring in some old bitches. I'm like, come on, man. You like, if you put this title on somebody like Sasha, who was, from what I understand, she gets the highest rated segments more than any female, or second to Roman Reigns, if I'm not mistaken, when she's on. Like, y'all can look this up. I'm not making this shit up.
So true about that.
She's a draw more than Bayley, more than Charlotte, more than Ronda Rousey. Again, look this shit up. Highest rated segments whenever she was involved in something. So, to a point, I understand. Put the tag team titles on them. Cool, if that's what they were going off of. I highly doubt it, but if that was the case, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt here. So fine, let them go that way. So if you do that and you put this woman who has this prestige in this company, are you going to really blame her or get mad if she wants to really make those belts mean something? Like, The Miz tried to fucking make the fucking IC title seem like it has some type of relevancy. He wanted to make it like it was back in the day when we were growing up. And no matter how you may feel about The Miz, if you go back to his IC title reigns, he really did try to make that shit seem like it was an important thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. He was motivated. He was whatever. Miz and Ziggler, he made that mean something. You're right, Track.
Exactly. Yeah, especially with the whole old school shit with the way it was before. So I can't get mad at Sasha and Naomi for them holding titles and wanting it to mean more based off, what they've done in the company, especially with the fact that, if they wanted them to if they wanted Naomi to be a part of the bloodline or some shit like that, you gotta, if she wants to make this shit seem like it's something, then let them try to make it seem like it's something. And all I'm saying is, from the fans, from a fan standpoint, everybody's, going off what they feel is right, is accurate, or whatever. Just understand that if they were gonna do all of this positive shit for them, and they wasn't with it, shouldn't that tell you something? Shouldn't that tell you there's more to this than just ego? Let me explain something to y'all. John Cena had a bunch of shit that they didn't want to do. And this is where I actually will give Cena some credit, where there was some
now I'm sweating right now. I don't know what the hell's going on. He just said you give me John Cena some credit. Oh my goodness.
Because there was a lot of ideas that he had that they shot down. And no, he didn't walk out. And he does have an ego. But no one steps away from this shit because of their ego. That just doesn't really happen. Not like that. It's not that Sasha didn't want to lose to this person. Sasha has no problem putting people over. That's not her fucking deal. She's not walking out on this shit because of ego. She's walking out of it most likely because they're killing her passion. And Naomi too. We've heard mad times where Naomi was trying to work certain things and have certain angles and be a certain way, and they get shot down or being put in certain things where she wasn't happy about it, but she went along with it. These workers fucking go along with a lot of shit that they don't like. That just doesn't have or make creative sense, but they do it anyway.
You're right, Track.
It's gonna get to the point where they're like, yo, I can't do this no more. Like, come on, you're cutting my legs from under me.
Understand, yes, it's a creative process, and it works better if the wrestler and the writers can, work hand in hand and create something. So this way they're happy, and then the consumer is happy what they're watching on TV. But again, that's not the issue right now. The issue is what Sasha and Naomi did was. Remember, this is the first thing for anybody to defend this. You could say whatever you want, but they walked out when Monday Night Raw was on the air. They broke that code. That's an old school wrestling tradition. You're booked You got to do what you're booked for. You could have done it. You could have fucked it up. You could have just walked out. You could do a lot of stuff. There's a code even when you don't like the creative track. You walk towards the ring. You walk around the aisle. You high five the fans, and then you walk back to the locker room. That's fucked up. But that's the code that a lot of people don't know about. What they did was break a code, just like Austin did. That's why people might try to change the narrative, but Austin regretted what he did. Even if the creative was bad, and I agree it was bad for Austin, but it's the same thing. Sasha and Naomi in years' time, I'm not putting words in their mouth, Hustleites, but they will regret for the business decision that they did, because you're not doing business. I understand track about the creative. You could be brought down, and your energy and your love and your passion is there, but you still have to split your passion for what you're supposed to do, and that's the business. That's just the way I'm gonna go with it.
From what I understand, people are saying that she had walked out before, and I knew about the previous walkout. I don't know exactly what it was that had her walk out.
That was that she had the personal mental. She had a mental block, but she was committed to her date. She finished her commitments, and they granted her time away. So let's not get those.
And did she go to Japan?
No, yeah, that was that time when she was depressed. Well, she had that mental issues. She took some time off, then went to Japan, got her passion back from Stardom.
Exactly. Thank you. See, this is why he's the professor. This is why he's the most scholarly, the most magnanimous, the most objective, the most stupendous, the king of the motherfucking hoopla. Right there, that man. Thank you very much, Q. Because it adds. Hold on.
Never walked out. She did her commitments and then was. So there's a difference.
But that adds to the point I'm trying to make. She went to Japan to get her passion back. She still goes to was it House of Honor, House of Glory, to train with who trained her? Amazing Red, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she still goes and trains with Amazing Red, and she trains with the some of the people who work with House of Glory. So she has it seems she has a deep passion for this business. She's not just somebody like I'm not going to say it because I don't want to just put that out there, but let me just say she's not someone who's trying to use the WWE as a platform to do something else. She wanted to be a fucking wrestler. Eddie Guerrero was her hero. No matter how you feel about it, that was her thing. Naomi, I'm not too sure of her story because they haven't really given a biography on her as much as they have Sasha. I mean, Sasha in status was way above where Naomi is, but her
biography is more for Total Divas. If you see those seasons, that's where you see Naomi and
and a lot of that shit is some made up shit anyway. So even that to a certain degree is fluff. But my thing is, like, she lost her passion for this business that she loves because she was being put in positions that she obviously didn't really care for, but she was a team player. Like Cena never walked out, The Rock never walked out, because at the end of the day, they valued the company. They're company guys. Sasha is like, I'm a company chick up until a certain point. I can't take it no more. CM Punk, same thing. So said it before, said it again, said it on my live stream yesterday, said it on past Hustleite episodes, PWHustle episodes, and I'll say it again. This business is the fucking beast, and it eats people up and it spits them out. But there's a never long ending line of people waiting to get eaten up and shit out. Okay, you have to, in some aspects, you have to root for people when they say fuck this, I'm out of here, so they can give the beast indigestion. Give them a little hiccup, make them think about how they're treating people so this doesn't happen again. And what amazes me about the fans is this thing seems to happen every few years. Somebody walks out, somebody doesn't re-sign, but no one gets the point. It's always, they're just being bitter. This, that, and the third. Their egos or whatever. Oh, just do your job. That whole do your job shit Yo, it is the epitome of hypocrisy. It is the epitome of contradiction, of the true human spirit of being an oppressed worker, but still kissing master's ass. You know what I'm saying? You got house nigga fans, you got field nigga fans, and anybody who's against the fucking WWE is a field nigga fan. Those who are fucking sucking the WWE's dick are obviously house nigga fans, straight up and down.
Like Samuel L. Jackson, so I guess you call me that.
Nah, I'm not even talking about you. Well, first of all, we already know your deal, all right? Professor, you being objective, you calling it right down the middle. That's the way it is. You're not being like some of these delusional motherfuckers who are out there making shit up and just saying, oh, this person would never do that. That person would never work with this corporation. We ain't gonna say no names, but we know these delusional fucking fans fucking exist. They're out there right now making shit up.
Yes, they are.
Okay?
You know, that on the other side of the gambit, just like you said, you know, and I'm not gonna try to hit the race card here, but you know what? I'm not saying delusional, but they're so extremist that I'm waiting for Al Sharpton. I'm waiting for Benjamin. I'm waiting for all these protests here on the Twitter, standing with Team Sasha and Team Naomi and all that stuff too. So there's two extremes, and we both want the same thing. We want great stuff on TV. We want the wrestlers to be happy. We want them to be creatively to express themselves. But there is always a give and take track. In the same way, you know, people always say this about Vince McMahon. You know, CM Punk said this in 2011. He should be a millionaire. He should have been a billionaire, but he's a millionaire. Well, technically, now he's a billionaire. So he's not a trillionaire? I mean, he's done business a certain way. It's worked for Vince. He's adapted to the corporate structure for himself and the WWE. This is not indie wrestling, guys. This is not AEW. This is his brand. This is a brand that's a global conglomerate that he has to make these certain decisions. Now, if he's going to do something to make $1 billion sale to NBC Universal, so be it. But that's the choices he's making. And if you guys don't like it because of the wrestling that's going on USA, you know, repeating matches every week. And, you know, I've seen SmackDown week. I can blink my eyes, you know, 2 weeks ago and to see the same SmackDown 2 weeks later. Yes, that happens. That's the reality. But again, that's his business. And his business model is succeeding in a certain light track. That's the way I'll say it.
Hold on. I want to read this because this was left on a post that I had made. So let me read this shit because this is the shit that I'll be talking about.
I need to. Can you elaborate which post you're talking about?
The one I just made on the Hustle YouTube page in the community section. I didn't just make it. I made it last night right before I went to sleep.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Because when I read it, I was like, what the hell is he talking about?
Damn, it triggered.
All right, here you go. It didn't trigger me. I was just like, is this nigga serious? He said, put up with WWE bullshit. What the fuck are you talking? That's what he said. He said, what the fuck are you talking? That's their job. I guess he meant, what the fuck are you talking about? That's their job. They are not slaves. What is laughable is people who are probably unemployed or job hoppers. I'm not wearing my glasses, so excuse me.
It's your dude. It's a troll account from your dude. He's coming back at you.
If it is, oh my God. But this shit is funny because well, this person's name is Special J, and judging by the way he wrote this, he definitely is special. It's not those women don't deserve. I'm telling you, it's not those women don't deserve no sympathy because they are so-called celebrities. A company is only obligated to pay you. They don't have to care how you feel. That's not their problem. That's yours. You put paid to do your job. I'm not making this up. This is what he said. You put paid to do your job. Whatever they ask, that's not illegal or inappropriate. Now, if you can make sense out of any of that.
Shout outs to Walt Clyde for another troll account. Walt Clyde, we love you.
Listen, I don't know if it's Walk Line. It could be, judging by the way this is written. It definitely could be, but if it's neither it's neither here or there, whatever the fucking expression goes. I can't get over the fact that this motherfucker actually wrote this shit. He had to be trolling. No matter who it is, they had to be trolling with that shit. Because if I'm working for you, I don't have to do a goddamn thing that you say. It is up to me. It is my choice to say, fuck you, I'm not doing it, and I'm walking out. If you are a job hopper, whatever the fuck that means, I guess that means somebody who's always getting different jobs. If you're always getting different jobs, then you're obviously never gonna go broke. So props to the job hoppers who can keep getting jobs. I can use your hookup for some of the people I know, but it is better to have a career than it is to have a job. But anyway, if I don't want to do certain things that my job asks me to do, you know what my job will say? If you don't like it, quit. But, we have all these contracts and shit like that, so it's not as black and white as working a regular 9 to 5, no matter what your career is. For someone like me, I have a contract of where I work, so I can't just quit and they can't just fire me. But if I'm feeling uncomfortable with some shit, I'm not gonna fucking work no more. Period. And I work that shit out some other way, any way I have to. If you're not happy with your employment, you can leave. They're independent contractors. I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, that's what Vince calls them, right? So fine. These independent contractors were not happy, said fuck you and your bullshit. We're out of here. Now, I do think that there's these rumors going around that their contracts are about to expire. I don't know how much money they got in the bank, Hugh, but I would probably think it's enough for them to walk away, especially in Naomi's case. They're not going to fucking punish the Usos because of what Naomi did, or Roman for that matter. So,
especially for the fact, well, I don't know if this is true, if you want to address this, but, the other Funkadactyl, Cameron, she claimed that Naomi was manipulated into walking out.
Yeah. I'm not listening to no chick who's straight up saying she don't fuck with black dudes, who's openly dissing brothers. Now the culture done rejected that coon buffoon a long time ago, so she don't get to say a goddamn thing. Fuck her. That's the Umar Johnson in me right there. But nah, who gives a flying fuck what that stupid ass has to say? She is crazy and she is stupid. Period. Her opinion don't matter to me at all.
Part of the discussion track, but let me just say this. I understand everything you say about, the environment you're in. You got to feel comfortable.
And we already know, like I said before, we already know that Naomi was not happy about a lot of shit. She wasn't happy about a lot of shit that was going on. So this whole manipulation shit, give me a fucking break. Okay? Go ahead, Q.
Let's look at this from not about the real job issue here, but let's just look at it from a TV standpoint. I think even for people within the social media realm wanted to see Naomi join the Bloodline. I mean, let's be honest. I know she's a former SmackDown champion and all this stuff. And of course, the Bloodline needs more gold and they need a ladies title. Yes. But she doesn't, to me, fit the Bloodline, even though she's married to Jey Uso.
She didn't. I will agree with you on that. She didn't really. Everybody would say, "Oh, I want to see that." Even I say I wouldn't mind her being in line with it, but she don't really fit the mold. Not because she's just not because she's not Samoan, but just because it just doesn't feel, it wouldn't feel right. But her having Paul Heyman talk for her would be an added bonus. That would help a lot. So she may not fit.
It just doesn't fit. Like if they had Nia Jax join it,
she may not fit, but Paul Heyman would make her fit. If he was doing the talking for her, I would have no issue with that at all. Have Naomi join the Bloodline and become the women's champ. I think that would have been a really cool story to add along with the Bloodline, especially with the Roman Reigns character, but that wasn't in the plans. I don't, because I honestly believe if that wasn't the plans, they would have been like, oh, okay, she would have told Sasha, you're on your own. But as far as her being manipulated, I don't believe that.
Wait, whoa, that's a good hypothetical track. I mean, if Sasha didn't like the booking, but then creative said, wait a minute, Naomi's gonna be Ronda, or Naomi's gonna be Bianca. Naomi gonna walk out? Nah, I mean,
if that was the case, she wouldn't have walked out if that was the case. That's definitely wasn't the case. And even if, let's just say, for example, hypothetical, that was the case, because people keep parroting this narrative that they were doing some good things for their character. Well, if they were doing some good things for the character and they walked out anyway, shouldn't that tell you something? Shouldn't that make you scratch your head that, even though they might have made them champions, they were still willing to walk out? If you're gonna make me champion, and the fans hear that I walked out anyway, like, wait a minute, you were gonna be WWE champion, you still walked out, and I'll tell you, it didn't make sense. You don't understand. Yeah, they were gonna make me champion. So what? It didn't make sense. I don't give a fuck about you making me champion. If the story is stupid, I don't want to go along with it. Period. You have to give me some type of creative input here and what I'm doing. And listen, there's a lot of people saying, and I don't know if I particularly agree with this, but there are a lot of people saying that, you take Sasha out the WWE Women's Division, there is no WWE Women's Division. And I will say, yes, she helped get that shit off the map. The 4 horsewomen, her, fucking Becky and Charlotte and Bayley, they helped make with their matches, with their collection of matches in NXT, and even on the main roster, made that division feel more special. But I can't sit here and say that there is no women's division without Sasha Banks. You miss a chunk of it, but I don't think I can say, she is the division. Now, even if all four horsewomen left, there are a lot of women out there who can take those spots, and you
got chicks in NXT, the tribal cheeks waiting in the wings to get in the main roster.
No. The tribal cheeks needs to keep her ass right there as long as she is fucking. Listen, I watched this chick's matches. She is Nikita Lyons is awful. Everybody keeps saying it's developmental. Okay, she's been wrestling for a long time now. At this point, she shouldn't be wrestling like she's a developmental chick right now. She should not. Give me a fucking break. Go back and watch her matches from where she was before. Nah, nigga. No. And yeah, she's not ready yet. But based off her looks and how the WWE will push them off of that, yeah, you got that. All right, I don't really give a fuck about it, but you got an Alexa Bliss. You got a lot of you got Asuka, exactly. So even if all 4 horsewomen left, if they wanted to, they can easily replace them. And if they wanted to, they can easily make the division feel even more special without them being there. If they wanted to, they can make it seem like there was a relaunch, a re-revolution of the women's division with new women that did something that the other women could never do. They can make all of this shit up. Why? Because they already made billion-dollar fucking deals. So when you make billion-dollar fucking deals, you can control your narrative.
That's the reality. You just said everything. That's the reality. And this is why the WWE changed this model to not hang on to people, not hang on to that one superstar, which they do. That's their business model. That if you get that one superstar, that iconic superstar, they'll ride it till you can't ride it no more. But Vince McMahon said, nah, I can't do that. It's the machine. It's the brand. It's those letters. That's what they've always adapted to, and that's how they do their business. So the 4 horsewomen solidified a place in time, and no one can deny that, and I'm never going to deny that. But you're right, Track. You got Nikita Lyons. You got the greatest NXT Women's Champion right now as we speak, Mandy Rose. She's doing work right now. So it's all replaceable. And the boat, Natalya, she is still in the WWE. She should be depressed. She's never been depressed. She's been trucking along. You want to talk about depressed?
Yeah, and that can show you. That can tell you a lot of things. That can tell you about the mental conditioning of a worker. That could tell you the dedication, the dedication to the company and to the business itself. But if you're not mentally there, if you feel like you're being constantly shit on, no matter how many times you do what they ask you to do, then get the fuck out, go, leave, go somewhere else. And let me tell you, if Naomi and or Sasha both end up in AEW, all I can say is, they better. That division revolves around Sasha Banks. You sign Sasha Banks to AEW, that division revolves around her. Okay,
you kick out Kiera Hogan and Red Velvet, and you make the baddies like the Bloodline. That's how strong that faction is.
You can definitely do that, but here's the thing: I don't want to see Sasha playing second fiddle to Jade. I don't want to see that at all. She's bigger than Jade. Not physically, but she's bigger than Jade. She's a bigger name than Jade, and Jade is the future.
But you can't use Sasha. She has to use Mercedes. So again, the mind
even if she has to go by Mercedes, she's still who she is. You don't take someone like her and make her play second fiddle to somebody that she's obviously much higher than in status. Now, I could see Tony Khan doing that, and I could see myself getting pissed. Like, nope, that's it. Deal breaker. Nope. You had one chance, nigga. You ain't getting another one. I don't give a fuck if you break her away and still make her the shit. Nope, you don't lost my fucking trust after that. If they get Sasha Banks, if by some chance AEW gets Sasha Banks, then that fucking division revolves around Sasha Banks. And you do not have a Sasha Banks Britt Baker feud until Britt Baker goes back to the factory and improves those fucking in-ring skills. But until then, you know what you do? You have Sasha versus or Mercedes versus Thunder Rosa, Mercedes versus legit Layla Hirsch, Mercedes versus Jamie Hayter, Mercedes versus Serena Deeb. Those are the women you put her in the ring with. Okay? Now, you can have an awesome feud between Mercedes and Britt Baker. But I don't just want an awesome feud. I want an awesome match. And right now, she ain't in no way, shape, or form at the level to even be in the ring with a Sasha Banks or Mercedes Fernando in fucking Britt Baker. So I don't want to see that. But like I said, I want to see her with women I know who know how to fucking work.
Let me ask you this. Everybody will always, you'll see those memes, Mercedes Fernando is all elite. But why don't people want her to go to Stardom? She showed you on the documentary how happy she was.
I want her to go to WoW. If she went to Stardom, that'll be awesome too. But I want her to go to WoW. Give that fucking bitch fucking Tessa Blanchard the boot. She becomes the face of WoW. You get more eyes on WoW. Man, shit. But going to Stardom, I can see her doing that in general. I could definitely see her going to Stardom before going to AEW because of the quality of the work. She would appreciate the shit out of that, and she would love it because she's an Asian culture fiend. That's why her husband is Asian. She loves Asian culture. So I could see her doing that. I could see her going to AEW and saying, listen, I want this relationship here. So before I sign the contract, I want you to work out some deal with Stardom and get a guarantee that I'll have some matches in Stardom or get some Stardom wrestlers. Plain and simple. Her versus Hikaru Shida would be fucking amazing. You know what I'm saying? So there's a plethora of things that can happen in the future for Mercedes Fernando, aka Sasha Banks, and Trinity Fatu, aka Naomi. Naomi is another one where she may not have the status of Sasha, but she's not going to have a problem finding work anywhere. She can also go to WoW. She can go to Stardom. She can go to Impact. She can go to AEW, and they'll make a big deal out of it. But again, I think with someone like Naomi, they wouldn't do with Sasha what they would probably do with Naomi, which is give her the WWE enhancement treatment, where they'll use her to help put over certain AEW stars. And speaking of which, that shit's got to stop. I'm getting tired of that shit straight up and down. AEW has to stop using former WWE talent as enhancement to get some of their originals over. You have too many good people from WWE where you shouldn't be using them in that fashion.
Wait, who are you talking about as enhancement?
I'm talking about, the Andrades. I'm talking about
Well, wait, to be fair, Track. I mean, you can use Andrade is a great example, but this is a problem. This is also reality hitting.
Andrade, Ruby Riot. Who was another one that came in and was getting used as like enhancement talent. I'm not saying they were jobbing them out. I'm just saying they were putting them up against their originals and putting their originals over. Listen, Darby Allin had no fucking business winning a feud against Andrade at all. I'm sorry. No fucking business. I don't care if he's got Sting by his side. No. Ruby Riott right now should be at a higher plateau to where she is. Based off the fact that, yeah, she did come from the WWE and she fucking signed with you. So you need to be doing more with her. They're doing a little bit more. But here's a problem with AEW. That a real AEW fan or someone who is a fan of their shows should and would tell you the fucking roster is overflated. All right, whatever second show that these motherfuckers are coming up with, you better hurry up and do something. Whatever you're gonna do with fucking ROH, you better hurry up and do something. You got too many fucking people. And not only that, like I said, you have too many former WWE people that you're using to help get your originals over, which is an idea I get it, I understand it, but don't overdo it. Don't overdo that shit. When Miro comes back, I don't want to see him fucking jobbing the fucking AEW guys like that left and right. I understood that Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks needed the win over Keith Lee and Swerve, but maybe they shouldn't have done that. Maybe they should have used somebody else that they're not using at this moment. I wasn't upset by that loss in general, but it just stuck. It left a bad taste in my mouth because I felt like, okay, the WWE guys coming in and getting put over. I mean,
but again, that's a catch-22 because you don't want WWE guys supposedly coming into AEW and then getting pushed to the moon.
And the only one who seems to be really getting a better treatment is Adam Cole. Adam Cole seems to be dodging a lot of those bullets because of who he is, and most likely because of who his friends are. I don't think an Andrade,
what you're saying, Jack, Andrade and Swerve. Let's put the fist up. Swerve and Keith Lee and Andrade are not getting the treatment, and Darby and Adam Cole.
They're not. They're not, because and what's the thing? They're not friends with the Bucks like Adam Cole is. You know what I'm saying? Well, we're definitely gonna see an Adam Cole Kenny Omega feud when Omega gets back. And of course Omega needs to go over. I mean, let's be real on that one. But they all I'm saying is just have it be more of an even balance. Have it. Like I said, don't make guys look like losers.
But the reality is, Track, you can't make everybody happy. This is a business first, and some people are cutthroat. Some people will get over. Some people will use their connections, and that's the realities.
I'm just saying, balance it out. That's all I'm saying. Make it have a balance. If it gets to the point where this narrative is created or this narrative starts going around, you have a problem. And no one can deny that they have a roster problem because they have too many people that they can't put on TV like that. Now, in some aspects, to me, it works. I don't need to see the House of Black on TV every fucking week. In a lot of ways, that's a good thing. It makes it more special, and it makes it less of a. Now, you don't want to keep them away for too long, but it makes them less annoying. You don't get tired of it. So certain people who they don't have coming back on TV every week makes sense. Certain people they have on Rampage makes sense. It's just unfortunate that Rampage is in the slot that it is, and it's getting bumped around, it's getting passed around like a loose bitch in a trailer park because of the NBA playoffs. And nobody with a fucking brain is thinking that these ratings are not suffering because of that. Yeah. And then it's a wonderful show. Like, come on, let's be real. I would much rather have Rampage turn into a WCW Saturday night shit but on TNT. Have Rampage come on TNT at like 7 or 8 o'clock. I don't care. I like to stay home on a Saturday night anyway. I know a lot of wrestling fans don't, but fuck it, put it on Saturday. Make that shit 2 hours. Fuck it, put it on
they
6
were
o'clock.
talking about that. Tony Khan is a traditionalist in certain natures. You could have had the 6:05 slot on a Saturday, either for TBS or TNT. You could have just kept that kind of tradition, but
on TNT because you still have that TNT title, so you got to keep it on TNT. So that's fine.
Well, he wanted, technically they wanted to call it the Warner Media television, TNT, TBS, but that would be really ridiculous. But again, that's another show for another day track, because then we could have a debate about the Warner Discovery shit, because shout outs to JoJo Smith, but when you have Red Velvet as your picture, your front page picture of trying to sell a show, nah, I'm sorry, I can't. That's not taking that show seriously. That's not taking that show. You're supposed to have CM Punk. You're supposed to have Daniel Bryan, Sting. You have Jade Cargill. I hate to say it, Britt Baker. You have faces for me to sell a show, and you choose Red Velvet for your industry upfronts? Hell no. I'm an executive like, who the hell is this?
That I understand where you're coming from. My counter to that would only be you don't want to put a former WWE person up there because they'll just think, the WWE is on TNT, which probably would be a bad thing anyway, because they'll just click to it.
That's how you swerve them in. You swerve them in.
Maybe you got it. Maybe you got it there. Fuck it. Because they definitely fucked up with the whole Johnny Gargano and Johnny Elite shit on their official shit. I don't know how the fuck they got that wrong.
No, I mean, he was called Johnny Elite. He named himself Johnny Elite, but also Gargano calls himself Johnny Elite too. So,
but on the official Twitter, they put Johnny Gargano. I was like, how the fuck do you fuck that up like that?
Again, I mean, if we're gonna stay on Sasha and Naomi, or we're gonna talk about AEW, I'll just say this for AEW. I'll be quick about this, but for AEW and that little hiccup to me with the Red Velvet thing. That is, I'm not saying that's disturbing or you should be afraid that they're going to get canceled. They're not going to cancel Hustle Lights. They're under a contract. They will be. Will they get renewed? That's a different show for another day, Hustle Lights, because that's something you can talk about. But again, the positive is Tony Khan has got a lot of resources, and I think enough clout he could sell the demos. He could sell the numbers, because he got a show of Dynamite to be top 10 in the demos. Track always knows that I was the one that talked about the demos before AEW even turned into existence. When y'all talked about me, when y'all were clowning on Raw, what was the professor saying? But the demos. Dave Meltzer stole the demo argument from me. He's got a show to sell, Track, and if it moves to another channel, it can happen. I mean, he could sell Dynamite and AEW to another network. So don't be afraid, Hustle Lights. He's gonna find somehow, some way. He's gonna find a network. If TNT and Warner Media says, "Nah, we're not with this wrestling anymore."
All I'm saying is with AEW, you're right. Using Red Velvet as a cover person, that's probably not the best PR move. You want someone more recognizable. So yes, again, you got to fix shit like that. Also, you got to, I mean, they're in their third year, and I said I give them about 4 or 5 years to get their shit totally together, and like I said, there's positives, there's negatives, but there are things that I'm not going to be overbearing about, and there are certain things that I'll give them a pass over because they're still young and they're in their infancy. Like I said, they just made it to their third year. The women's division is not as bad as it was when they first started. That's for damn sure. But they still got a few kinks to work out here and there. And like I said, fix some of your booking with some of the people that you were lucky to sign. You gotta fucking understand that some of these people you're lucky to get them. Mm-hmm. So you should treat them better. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this whole ROH thing. I hope they don't make it like a developmental shit. Don't do that. This man was an ROH fan, so keep it the ROH that it is, and just have it feel a little bit more important. So if you send somebody from AEW to that roster, they don't feel like it's a demotion. They just feel like, oh, okay, I'm just being switched to this. That's fine with me. You know what I'm saying?
Brian Cage. Billy Blanchard. Sorry, congestion.
But But nah, it's not a bad idea if they just keep ROH or make ROH feel a little bit more special or raise that up, or do something with it. I have no idea what the plans are, and I don't know. But listen, overall point is this with this whole Sasha Banks thing. What I'm trying to get out, what people need to understand is you don't know what the fuck is going on backstage. You can listen to dirt sheets. People can listen to who they want to listen to. People decide whether they want to listen to Ryan Satin or whether they want to listen to Brian Alvarez or whether they listen to Sean Moore Sapp or if they want to listen to Conan and Disco Inferno. Everybody's going to take their sides. Everybody's going to act like they know what the fuck they're talking about. And, you're going to have, you're going to have the house fan niggas. I mean, you're going to have the house nigga fans. You're going to have the field nigga fans. That's the way it's going to work. And we all need to just understand that everyone has a right to say, fuck this, I'm out of here. No matter what, even if it was her ego, if she didn't like it, what you say, quit. What are y'all gonna do one day when y'all wake up and y'all see half the roster's gone? Y'all gonna say, 20 people just walked out of the WWE, good riddance. Yeah, the WWE does nothing wrong. Like when are people gonna wake up to see that this company is not all fucking Skittles and fucking sunshine? It's not like it's not what it's cracked up to be. Exactly, it never was. No matter who's in control. You got Stephanie is gone on a leave of absence now. I don't know if that has anything to do with Sasha Banks, but that shit to me was wild. Every single McMahon is gone now, with the exception of Vince. Even the son-in-law is gone. Now maybe she left to stay by her husband. And maybe his help is not
he's supposedly back at full time working in the offices of Stanford. That's confirmed.
Oh, okay, so he's back to working. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He probably just got his ass in accounting now. But all I know is this: there's only one person I know, and it ain't Nick Khan, that can make the McMahons and Triple H walk away, and that is boss Cody Rhodes. That's Jay-Z. Cody Rhodes, the nigga from Marcy. You know what I'm saying? He did that shit. He got all the McMahons out of his way, and the only one he can fuck with is Vince. And Vince is going to listen to him all the time. Cody is going to be the face of the WWE. Yo, Cody's a fucking genius, yo.
He worked the 6-year hustle. You can't work the 6-year hustle.
Yo, did you see? Yo, first of all, did you not see where they had the countdown until Cody Rhodes speaks? I was like, what the fuck is this? When I saw that shit, I said, what the fuck? Why do they have a countdown till this nigga speaks? He did that shit. They did that shit for Cody. They ain't even doing that for Roman. They're not doing a countdown to when Roman cuts a promo. Yo, Cody.
That's gangster. That is totally gangster.
I said that I don't think Cody Rhodes is going to be the one to beat Roman. I take that back. I think he is going to be the one to beat Roman and take the title from Roman, not have the title. I mean, listen, it would make sense if they took the title of Roman Reigns and Randy Orton got it, and then Cody Rhodes took the fucking title from Randy Orton. That would make sense, and it might even make for a better story given their whole legacy history. So
it depends on how they do that, because the Money in the Bank, and I know we're going a little overtime, Hustle, but Money in the Bank has new rules for the match. Cody even changed that too.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with that shit?
I don't know. I mean, since I guess Roman's got 2 belts, I don't know if you win the Money in the Bank, you're gonna decide which one you're cashing in, or if you beat Roman, are you taking the Raw title, or are you taking the SmackDown title, or do you get 2 chances at it? I don't have no idea. So
that shit was crazy.
Sprinkle. So it is what it is.
I was saying to myself when he said, you have a chance to go to WrestleMania, I just figured that he was saying you can cash the title in at WrestleMania if you want to. Because so technically he's right. You do have a chance to go to WrestleMania and fight for the title, because you can take the belt and say, you can take this and say, whoever's champion at WrestleMania, I'm going to face him then. So that could be that. I'll say one more thing before we get out of here. And if you watch SmackDown, and you saw that announcement that Michael Cole made, and I'm not talking about the one where he fucking said, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal has launched so many fucking WWE careers. Yo, I'm trying to get that up, but they keep. I got a reaction to that, and I'm trying to get it up, but they keep blocking it. Even when I made the fucking shit as small as a fucking nickel, it still got blocked. I don't know why. Maybe that's because of the way WWE is doing shit now with Peacock. NBC is in control, so everything is is getting claimed by a third party, which is NBC, which makes me believe that NBC is going to end up the owners, not Disney. But what Michael Cole said was, I'm not going to repeat the whole thing, but he talked about what happened with Naomi and Sasha. Both Michael Cole and fucking Pat McAfee looked uncomfortable as shit. Okay, during that segment, Michael Cole did not look happy that he had to say that. Pat looked like he was uncomfortable with hearing it, which told me that there's more to this shit. I think a lot of people in the WWE are like, nah, what you're doing right now is fucked up. That was just me, and I'm not the only one that said that. There are a lot of people I'm seeing now like, yo, did you see that segment? That was like, that shit looked rough.
There's a difference, track, and again, I have to use Austin as an example. When Austin walked, who you have to like really take him down? The Rock. But then for WWE right now, Roman's not gonna really. Why would Roman talk about Sasha and Naomi? It doesn't make sense.
Oh,
but it matters.
They had Becky Lynch do it. They had Becky Lynch do it on Monday Night Raw.
It doesn't have the same. It doesn't have the same sizzle. And two, from 2002 to 2022. It's different because all the Smart Mark fans already know what's going on behind the scenes. So you can't really cut a promo with a wrestler can't cut a promo.
They don't know what's going on behind the scenes. They think they know, but they don't. Like that old show on MTV, Diary. You think you know, but you have no idea.
But it's so different with The Rock doing it, and everybody can just cater to what The Rock says.
But my whole point is, when you look at that shit, you could just see that.
Yeah, they can watch it.
Right, saying that shit.
What's going on? They're being worked too. That's what it is.
Yo, we getting out of here. Let them know where they can find you, Prof.
You can find me on the Twitter at PWHustle PROF. That's PWHustle Prof. And you can find me on the Pod Beams, where I host the best nostalgic show out there, the PWR podcast, the Pro Wrestling Reflection, with myself and Mr. Wonderful Tommy Wonder. So you can check us out at PWHustle Networks at podbeam.com. And
of course, you can find me right here, PW Hustle, and you can find me doing the fucking reactions. Got to do my Fear the Walking Dead reactions. Got to catch up to that shit. I'm going to be reacting to Obi-Wan Kenobi, and me and Lady G going to be reacting to She-Hulk, hopefully. And
which one? The one with China?
that would be awesome if we could fucking react to a fucking porno. But look for me here, like I said, same channel, same place, on Twitter at 8Track Dastardly, the number 8, TRAC Dastardly. And do not forget, hit the notification button, like, comment, subscribe. Hey, even donate if you want. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. Donate. Get the hustle up. It's all about the hustle. Enhance the hustle if you want to. Make those dollars. But, it's neither here or there. And look for me on, Johnny Odell's reactions and on his shit. When he, if he puts me down, I enjoy doing the reactions. I enjoy being a part of those reaction compilations. So also subscribe to Johnny Odell. And don't forget, go out there and drink some Clyde Mays whiskey. Clyde Mays, get you right all the time. All right, we gonna see y'all later. Peace.